Electric companies, consumer giants, and manufacturers from all over the country are joining forces to rally in support of new comprehensive climate and energy policies. The group is pushing for laws that they say will create more than 1 million jobs and make America more competitive.
And that's what they say. There's a lot of contention on that, though. Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive, one of the members of the coalition, the chairman and CEO of the Public Service Enterprise Group, Ralph Izzo. Now, PSE&G is one of the nation's 10 largest electric companies. It's based in New Jersey, and we are so pleased to have you here for this exclusive. Thanks very much.
Good to be here, David.
Now, you guys kind of exited the Chamber of Commerce kind of quietly about a year ago, partly as a result of their views on cap and trade. Isn't there a way to bridge that divide, or has it become more divisive than ever?
Well, I think there is a way to bridge that divide, and the fact that there are about 150 CEOs in Washington today appealing to members of the U.S. Senate, and they range from consumer goods to electric companies, is illustrative of the fact that there is a way to bridge that divide. But some of the organized trade associations didn't quite get there, so we thought it was best to put our
Let's be clear
views
here.
elsewhere.
You're pro cap and trade.
We are.
And more importantly, you say it could create up to 1.7 million jobs. There's a whole different side here saying it's going to be onerous, it's going to cost so much money, and it will hurt jobs, especially in the Midwest. Tell me how it could actually create jobs.
Well, so we've created jobs in New Jersey already because we have a very progressive view on climate change in the state. We already pay $3 per ton of CO2 that's emitted under the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. We have a 20% renewable portfolio standard by 2020. So what has that resulted in? It's resulted in us installing solar panels. It's resulted in us installing energy efficient devices. So we are creating a whole raft of installer jobs. We've hired hundreds of people to do this work. But that's not where we stop. Just having a bunch of folks installing this equipment would be really a second prize. The first prize is making sure we have the manufacturers and the supply chain to provide these products locating here in the United States. And here's where we're losing the race. The fact that we don't have a national renewable portfolio standard, the fact that we don't have a cap on carbon and therefore no price on carbon, means that the supply chain is growing in other parts of the world. So we see when we're bidding for components, the bidders are coming from Japan, France, China, and other nations are getting ahead of us because we don't have our act together.
But Ralph, I got to play the other side of this because we don't have a chamber rep here. They would say, look, everybody from Blue Dog Democrats to Jay Rockefeller, representing the coal mines of West Virginia, will tell you this is going to put an unbearable burden on companies that are in a lot of trouble already because of the recession.
Well, there's no question prices will go up. One cannot dispute that. The question is how much do they go up really depends upon how intelligently we allocate the emission allowances. So we've put forth a proposal that essentially allocates the emission allowances to customers. So you have very, very modest rate increases as a result. We estimate 5 to 7% over the next 10 years. Now, maybe anything greater than zero is too much for some folks. A lot of what will happen will be a switch to natural gas, which is a domestic fuel that's being found in increasing supplies.
And cheap.
And that's right.
Relatively clean.
That's exactly right. So will you have some shifts within industries in the United States? To be sure you will. But to simply sit back and say we're going to hold the tide back, or we're going to put our head in the sand and pretend this isn't happening in the rest of the world, is short-sighted.
The group that's going to Washington includes companies like yours, but along with companies like Timberland, Virgin North America. These are companies that really look to be progressive in all of this. And if I'm hearing you correctly, in essence you're saying if we hold on to the old ways, it's just going to get more difficult and will not help anybody.
And the supply chain will continue to develop overseas and will continue to lag that.
Ralph Izzo, please come back and see us again. It's a great pleasure for us to have you here. Again, we did reach out to the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe sometime you can come back. We'll have a little good old-fashioned debate on this.
That'd be fun.
Thanks a lot. You're a Brooklyn guy. You can stand up to a debate. Ralph Izzo, thanks.